Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from Group 1 and the member of Group 1 are my name is Farhan.
My name is Zahra Salsabilla.
Hello, my name is Ria.
My name is Bielsa.
Now, in this video we are going to retell the story about the first voyage of Sinbad. Check it out.
A long time ago, in the city of Banghat, lived a man named Sinbad the Hermit. He worked as a porter. Sinbad is a hard worker and poor at the same time. One day, when he was working, he felt very tired and hot. His body staggered walking to the house of a merchant. He sat on a chair in front of the gate of the merchant's house. Not long after, he felt the cool breeze and the melody sounds of the lute and the sounds of happy love from inside the gates of the merchant's house. Curiosity filled him. Then he opened the gates a little, and he saw many beautiful flowers in the gardens of the house, as well as services that brought soft and delicious smells making Sinbad's stomach hungry. While picking, he said a few sentences. Every morning that dawns, I woke up in pain and sorrow. I pick up my burden and go to work, while others live in comforts and pleasures, with beautiful songs, good foods, and light laughter. All living beings are born with their birthdays, but some live like masters and some like beasts. To you, a wise Lord, I dare not to fulfill your creations, and your justice never fails. After finishing his poem, Sinbad intended to continue his work, but his steps were stopped when a servant held his hand and said that his boss wanted to meet Sinbad. Then they walked through a luxurious house that could be said to be a palace, leading to a dining room full of nobles sitting according to their rank at the dining table, and the singing voices of beautiful slave girls filled the room. And in front of all of them sat a man who looked respectful and noble. And then Sinbad was grateful for what he had just seen. Then the owner of the house told him to stand up, and the servants put various food and drink in front of him. Sinbad was very grateful to the owner of the house. Then he ate after reading Bismillah. And the owner of the house asked him what his name and what he did every day. And then Sinbad replied, "Oh my lord, my name is Sinbad the Hermit, and I carry the people's goods on my head for hire."
The Lord just smiled because they got the same name in an unexpected way. And the Lord asked Sinbad to repeat the verses that he recited in the front of his house. And Sinbad felt ashamed because he didn't want to repeat those verses again in front of those wealthy. Oh my Lord, in the name of Allah, I declare this poverty and hardship have given me boorish way in my life. And Lord just smiled and held his shoulder because he was happy to hear that. Oh Porter, I want you to know that I've never heard the truther word than you just said. And I want you to know that everything you see right now, I got this after I through lots of pain. I have done 7 voyages and I've lots of pain to got all of this. And if you have time, I want you to hear all of my story. I want you to understand all of my pain and all of this because of fate, and no one can untie the fate. And this is how the first voyage of Sinbad the sailor began. Sinbad's father was a rich man. He was a successful of trade, and Sinbad got everything he desired in his life. He was stubborn and stupid. He was lazy all day in his bed, until one day his father was bankrupt. And Sinbad remembered that his father always said that it'd be better in grave than in poverty. Then Sinbad realized that he could not be like that forever. Then Sinbad sold everything he got, his good clothes, property, and all his playful things. Then he bought merchandise for his first voyage. While he said loudly, "There's no successful without hard work, and if you do the otherwise, and you just waste your time."
We set sail for Basra, the city whose names mean where many ways come together. We journeyed for many days and nights, touching at ports and islands. Everywhere we landed, we poked and sold, bartered and traded, increasing our wealth bit by bit. Eventually, we came to the most beautiful island of all. Here, some seeds from the gardens of paradise must have landed and taken root. The captain dropped anchor and put down the landing planks, so everyone on board come ashore to feel the golden sands between their toes and enjoy the lush and tranquil land. Some passengers set up fire for cooking, and others washed their clothes. A few of us contented ourselves with walking around island, and others drank and played. Then all of a sudden, the captain, standing high up on the deck, rang the ship's bell and shouted at the top of his voice. The captain shouted for everyone to run for their lives. He said, "For come back to the ship as fast as they can."
We looked up in amazement, and as we did, we felt the ground lift whole under our feet. The once calm sea swirled around the island, and huge waves broke on the shore. Then the center of the island curved into a huge arc, and those who didn't make it back to the ship began to slide down into the foaming sweet sea water. I was among them, but as I fell, I clung to a water to wash my clothes. I saw that we had not landed on an island as we thought, but on the back of a very large whale. He must have been lying down for years. But when we landed on the top of him, and some of us lit a fire, it must have disturbed him from his slumber. He wagged his tail and thrust about in the water, and a huge wave picked me up and washed me further away. Now I was completely alone, with no chance of being picked up by the boats.
But the morning brought me to the shore of a high-hill island. I fell onto the ground like a dead man and lay for a long time with my eyes closed. It was some time before I began to crawl on my hands and knees towards the edge of the woods, where I found nuts, berries, and water. Feeling somewhat better, I began to explore the island. After walking some time, I caught the outline of living thing. Drawing closer, I saw it to be a beautiful and noble horse. I stooped down and I picked a clutch of long grass, and the grass is still wet with the morning dew. And then I took it to the horse, and she nibbled it out of the palm of my hand. And all of a sudden, something startled her, and she neighed and pulled at her rope. And then I looking around, and I saw something emerging from the waves, a giant horse, a white sea stallion who was coming from the mere. I was startled as the mare by this impossible creature and I ran back for the cover of the woods. From there, I saw the stallion had taken Mare's rope in his mouth and dragging her to the sea, where she would surely drown. These sights might fill my heart with pity. I picked up a stick and ran back to the beach, where I began to beat the sea stallion around the head. He might surely have turned and kicked me to death, but so furious was my attack that he thought better of it and ran back into the waves from where he had come.
The mare was still frisking to and fro with fright, but I took the rope and calmed her down. A few minutes later, I was joined on the beach by a man who called out to me, "Who are you? Where are you from?" "My lord," I replied, "I am Sinbad the sailor, whose ship landed on the back of a great whale, and who would have drowned had not Allah preserved me and sent me wooden troop, clinging to which I was washed ashore here on this lovely island. And now I have told you who I am. Please return the favor and tell me who you are," he replied. "I'm one of the king's grooms, and I look after his favorite mare, whom you just saved from being dragged into the sea and drowned by the sea stallion. And this encounter proved to be my great fortune, for the groom led me to the capital city on the palace. Here I had the honor of meeting King Mirjan, and when I had told him my story, he marveled and said, 'By Allah, you have indeed been miraculously preserved. The fate must have decreed long life for you, or you would have surely been drowned a 1,000 times over. You are one who is blessed by Allah yourself today.' Believing me to be favored by God, he treated me kindly. Indeed, he gave me a lucrative job as a master of his port and register of all the ships that were put in there. One day, the very same ship that I had sailed in visited the island. The captain immediately recognized me and embraced me in his arm. 'Your goods still safe the hull of my ship,' he said. This was the most unexpected good news. Thanks to Allah, I offered the goods as a gift to King Mirjan, who had shown me such a good favor. In return, he made me a gift of treasure that was worth 20 times its value. We sailed to Basra, where I increased the value of my goods another tenfold and the marketplace, and so I returned to Baghdad as a wealthy man. I bought this palace and many servants and set up a great establishment, and soon began to forget all that I had suffered. This, then, is my first miraculous story. Tomorrow, so I'll tell you the tale of my second of 7 voyage. And you will return to my house, and so saying, Sinbad the sailor gave Sinbad the porter 100 gold coin for his time, and the porter left for his humble home, pondering his great good fortune.
Foto futsal.
How was it? Did you enjoy it? And if you enjoy it, please give us like, comment, and subscribe our channel YouTube video. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching our video. See you. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Di langit ada matahari.
Nama Dan Farhan.
Kita pandai nyebatin. Gara